question. Do you think that you're up to this written challenge? Let's talk about it back in a minute. Hey, this is Jan from New York City. My channel name is Jan from New York City, saves money, and I love, love, love helping people to keep some more of the hard earned money. There is a good reason why I love people to keep some more of their own hard earned money. Definitely, and definitely use some of it for stockpiling. There are a lot of people out there today because many times situations, with crazy prices or perhaps poor planning or perhaps difficulty getting to a grocery store, which is reality for many people, or some people do not have, for example, computers to place online orders and so on and so forth. And the list goes on and on. Not everybody has easy, readily available access to grocery stores for many, many reasons. Some people do not have easy access to fresh fruit and vegetables, for example. Just saying, just saying. But for right now, I am curious to know, and I know from experience, the person that's probably listening to this could probably do this. Now, I have a challenge for you. Let's pretend you only have $5 till your next paycheck, and you have 2 days to go before that next paycheck, and you are working with a family of four. That means two adults and two children. What can you do? Let's just say that you don't get paid for a couple of days, and your significant other spouse does not get paid, at the same rate of time for another 2 days. But all you have literally left is a $5 bill. I'm not going to do much talking in this video because the truth be told, this is up to you. What would you do with $5 to feed two adults in this end of this year of 2022, given the high prices? How creative can you be? No answer is a wrong answer. I am just curious to know what you would do. To adults, to young children, let's just make them, let's say, under 8 years old in this instance. Okay, so I'm just giving you an eye for that. And you're working with very little. What would your strategy be? I am curious to know. This may be an interesting challenge on paper, but unfortunately, this is a reality for many, many people. And I know, there's the theory, well, the food banks are out there. You're right, they're out there. They're not always close by. Some people cannot get to a food pantry. Some people cannot. They just cannot. That's why I love hearing these stories of some localities where people have what is known as a blessing box. And God bless those donors and people that care enough to take the time to do that. This is why I'm telling you, we never know in life what things can happen. This is why I am really on this. Let's get ready. One can at a time. I don't care if you pick up one can every single grocery haul that you're going to use for stockpiling. That way, let's pretend the person is only down to $5, but they do not have that stockpile. I forgot to mention that part. This is key. Okay, you're working with your active pantry, and there is no stockpile to be found because, for whatever the reason, sometimes people think things, excuse me, are insurmountable. Oh, stockpile. You know what it is? Because sometimes people either visit someone or they're watching, informative videos, and they see massive, beautiful stockpiles that look comparable to a grocery store. I had a friend just like that. I'm telling you, I used to goof about it. I used to call it her nuclear room. I used to goof about it, like, unfortunately, like all you needed was a register, a cash register in her room. She had so many groceries, and I never saw anything quite like it. And it was just she and her own husband. It was just a family of two. However, I might have laughed about it because it looked so odd. But looking back, I knew one thing. My friend was well prepared. She was a very, very frugal person. But unfortunately, in her case, and I could go on a different video, and it was a little more than just being prepared. In her case, she had tendencies to almost be a hoarder, and there is a unique difference. There is a big difference between being a prepared person than being a hoarder. And that's another show. And I have touched upon that in the past. But I don't want to go way off on the tangent. And I had promised not to talk too long because the star of the show are you guys. I am really curious to know, what would you do if you had only $5, no accessible food bank, you do not have a stockpile? What would you do till payday? Okay, what would you do? I'm assuming that don't have any money to pull out of your ATM either, or anything of that nature. So there are a lot of challenges here. Literally, the person or persons only have literally $5 to work with. What would you do? I am totally curious. Please let me know in the comment section below. How would you handle the meal strategy? Would you have 3 squares each day? Would you cut it down to 2? Would you be repetitive in one meal? What would you do? Is it only going to be beans and rice and beans? Hey, listen, you know, if that's the answer, that's the answer. But I'm curious to know beyond, you could use beans and rice in your answer, but I'm curious to know beyond the traditional beans and rice. But when it comes to survival, beans and rice is where it's at, and that's better than nothing. Would it be Janet's top choice of favorites? No, but that's Janet. That doesn't mean you have to feel the way I do, okay? But if it comes to survival, then all of a sudden beans and rice and beans is going to start looking even good to me, okay? Just saying, just saying. I do like rice, and I like beans under certain circumstances. I'll admit it. Like I like beans, let's say that are canned beans. I'm not a fan of cooking beans all day long. Personally, I am not a fan of that. I'm just saying the truth. Everybody's different. I was not raised on beans. That just wasn't it. Just wasn't. So therefore, I had to like learn this. I had to have an acquired taste. But when I fell in love with chickpeas later on, yeah, they were good. So let me know. No answer is a wrong answer. Okay. I would love to hear your answer. There you go. All right. Thank you so much for your time. And if you found value in this video, you know what I'd love for you to do, right? Looking forward to your response. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Take good care.